Hi, thank you very much. I'm Matthew Titcomb, Brian's UW college friend and roommate, um, and friend for a long time. First, I want to say, my thoughts and prayers have been with you with Tahira, Shauna, Jackson, Abe, Danya, and Mr. Monroe. Um, so I have three different thoughts over time because Brian and I stayed in contact over time. One was broken down in decades and then to the century. In the 80s, college. Brian and I were roommates. We met at the dorm at UW and became roommates for multiple years. We shared a house with Dave Vincent, and our friends were like Julia, Tammy, Daryl, and too many to remember. Um, some memories were blown speakers from one night um, at the house with Dave, going to Dick's nearby for some late night burgers, watching Brian and Big Tom being young, dumb, and stupid um, in a not so big room in our house. The other memorable parts were his cars. I remember the big blue, and I don't know what it was, if it was a Cadillac or Lincoln, whatever, but he brought it to school his freshman year, and that was great. That got replaced by a tan Chevette, which he made more money from people hitting it than it cost him. Um, and yeah, I'm the guy who, during one spring break, brought him home to his parents, and we shoveled manure together for my dad's lawn. Um, some memories of time at UW was CNN was God's gift to Brian, it seemed like. Um, Also, the daily and learning life's lessons. He was already a multimedia news and information junkie, which was amazing. In the 90s, we got together to see UW various times at the Rose Bowl and other games. One game, it was like in October 91, we saw UW play Cal when he was living in San Jose, and stayed overnight somewhere in Berkeley. I don't remember. On our way home, we stopped by Jack London Park in Oakland and looked like a tire fire. And that tire fire actually turned out to be the Oakland fire of 1991. For those not old enough to remember that was a big fire. You can look it up in Google. Needless to say, the newsman came out and I was dropped off early at the airport. We both got married and became fathers. And Brian was my daughter's godfather, my daughter Sydney. I was a groomsman in his wedding. It was beautiful. Um, in the 21st century, we still stayed in contact by text and phone. Um, he was the last person I saw before this unique year shut things down um, when I was in DC area. Brian was my guy on the inside of politics. It was kind of fun to talk to him. And he was part of my sanity check network. And we spoke just days before he passed. I'll miss Brian. And he'll always be a part of me. And that was a good part.